Uh-oh, I broke my saw. A Rustnock Model 70 vertical accessory head. Belt-driven power feed for the X-axis. Belt-driven main spindle with 3 different speeds. Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. New old project. Yeah, I've had this little horizontal milling machine for, actually it's almost exactly 5 years now when I brought it home. And it's been sitting way back in the corner there waiting for its time to get cleaned up, restored, whatever it needs. It's finally time. I'm going to work on the stand first so that I've got something to set it on, and I'm going to add wheels so I can roll it around. It'll just make it much easier to work on. Let's come in closer. We'll just do a quick walk around and then we'll get started. So other than squirting some oil and rust preservative on the various parts of the machine, I have done nothing to this thing since I brought it home. So it's a belt-driven horizontal spindle. There you go. The spindle is a Brown and Sharp 9 taper, and I do have some arbors for it. And then there's the overarm support, and it's just got a single overarm. I guess you call that a rail or a tube. Yeah, everything's belt driven. There's no gears at all, so that keeps it simple. It's got a single phase. I believe that's a 3/4 horse motor. It's a really cool looking motor, and I'm probably going to stick with that one as long as it runs okay. The table, ways, and so forth are all in good shape. There's come around to this side. There's one blemish there on the table. Not bad. It came with this little matching milling vise. It does have a belt-driven power feed for the X-axis with cutout. So you got some cutout dogs here. And there's the trip mechanism. And I think that's all working. The ways seem to be in pretty good shape. I don't think this machine has run for, I've had it for 5 years, and the estate that I got it from, it obviously wasn't running there either. So I'm going to say at least 10 years since this has ever run. Of course, all the oil is dried up. So I haven't tried to run it, and I've been very limited on adjusting any of the travels because I don't want to do any damage without cleaning it up first. It has the Rustnock accessory vertical head, and it seems to be in good shape. Right now the down feed is frozen. It used to work when I brought it home, so I think it's just the oil is dried out and hardened up, so I think it'll be fine. Yeah, so it's a neat little machine, and it's very heavy. This casting here, these are solid. It's not hollow behind there. It's got some iron in there. Yep. All right, and then the base, this is going to be the first thing I'm going to work on. The base is a little bit too high for my liking, so I need to cut it down for a little bit better working height. I want to try to get the table height to match the Bridgeport. Kind of makes sense to have them at the same elevation. I'm going to add casters so I can move it around. Small shop, it's nice to be able to move things around. And I'm also going to add leveling feet. So to add these casters and then adjust the height, I'm probably going to be cutting out about 6 inches out of this base. So that's what I'm going to start on first. I'm going to try to keep the work on the base down to hopefully 1 video. I know that's not very exciting for everybody, so I'm going to try to save most of the time for when we actually work on the machine itself. So, all right, that's it. Let's get started. I've already stripped off all the electrical components and other accessories that were attached to the base. Well, this is a good example of how not to wire something. I mean, they did a clean job, but they've got this wired for 230 volt, and they're picking up a neutral to also generate 120 volt from the same source, which is okay if you do it right. This is a disconnect for the for everything actually. As you know, it's a disconnect for the motor, and it's only disconnecting one side because the other side of the 230 is live all the time. Well, it's live through the drum switch and over to the motor, but still, it could be a safety thing. You really, if you're going to have a disconnect, you should disconnect both sides. But the bad thing is they are only using 3 wires, so they're using 2 hots, which gives you the 230, and then the ground connection here, they're using that as a neutral. That's a no-no, right? So this should have been a 4 conductor plug with 4 wires. Yeah, so we have a green ground wire, which is actually a neutral, which is not good. So we're going to redo all this. I'm going to leave it together just so we have a record of how it's hooked up. And I looked at the motor. It's only a 3/4 horse, and it's a dual voltage motor, so it'll run just fine on 120 volt. So that's what we're going to do. It's only 10 amps at 120 volt. That makes it a lot more convenient, you know, for moving it around and so forth. So, all right, thought you guys would like that. Oh, and I forgot, yeah, nothing's grounded either. There's no ground on any of the devices or any ground on our power cord at all. So yeah, another bad thing. I've looked at this thing 6 ways from Sunday, trying to figure out the best plan to make this a mobile base. I'm gonna go with something like this, and with some outrigger type leveling feet, similar to what I did on the welding cart over here, but you know, beefier. Yeah, I looked at, I mean, ideally the best thing would be to put the wheels on some offset outriggers and raise the wheels up so that you're not so high off the floor. But it would just get too wide if I do that. It would add about another 12 inches of width by the time you allow for, you know, the casters to spin and so forth. And I've got to get through this kind of narrow pathway here. Yeah, if I ever pull the machine out, which will probably happen from time to time, and that would just make it too wide. So yeah, I'm going to go with something like that. I also looked into smaller wheels, but the trouble with small wheels is they just don't roll very well. So yeah, this is the plan. So now I've got to take out about 12 inches out of the height of this cart, or base, I guess it would be a cart also, but I gotta take 12 inches out, so that's the next step. Uh-oh. I think I broke my saw. Well, my saw is kaput. I pulled the drive wheel off just to make sure that the chain was okay, and the chain's fine. So we blew up or broke the worm gear. This thing's 40 years old. It's not worth screwing around with, and I've got another one. So, well, I guess if you want them to last longer than 40 years, you should grease them every now and then. Well, too late now. Okay, well, let's try not to break the Milwaukee. I've always liked the Portabands better. They just had a better feel to them. So we'll see how this goes. The drawer that goes in here, instead of sitting flat, it was hitting this cross brace, so I just clearanced it a little bit. Now to clean it up with the grinder. This existing drawer, it just has some runners, you know, old school. And I'm gonna update it to some ball bearing, you know, tracks, door slides. But I've got to cut out, I make a little cutout here, unfortunately. The other option would be to make a whole new face for the drawer with an overlap to hide that cutout, which I could do at some point, but I mean, it is what it is, so. Okay, I've got the drawer fitted up and I got the slides positioned, and I just got to tack weld the angle iron in while everything's lined up. I've got Ethan, my helper, over here. He's cleaning the wheels for me. Here's what this side looks like. All right, I'm gonna get these tacked on. I just did a few heavy tacks because I don't want this to warp and get out of alignment. So they're gonna be strong enough for what it's doing. All right, you ready to test the drawer?
Yep.
Okay, let's see if it works. Nice. And it's self-closing too, huh? Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. Is that a winner?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't have done it without your help. This is my very first ever send, cut, send order. Let me get it opened up and see how it looks. Well, I'm pretty impressed. You certainly can't complain about the packing job. Holy smokes. Probably could have dropped this from an airplane. It would have been just fine. So what we got are drawer bodies. Got two drawer bodies. These are drawer fronts. They hang over a little bit. And then over here, these are the drawer backs. Just got to spot weld those together. I'm guessing they may have that capability. Like I say, this is the first time I've ever ordered from them, so I'm not sure what they can all do. And yeah, and I was just happy that I was able to draw these up with my limited fusion skills. Okay, well, time to put them together. I'm over here at the outside Screwball World headquarters.
Hello, guys.
Hi, Chuck. Yeah.
Messy shop. We'll find a space for it.
Yeah. We're going to use Chuck's spot welder to weld these end panels onto the drawers. So wish us luck. All right, setting up for the first couple welds here. This is the controller box. And we already did a test on a piece of scrap, so we figured 1 second duration was about right. All right there. Okay, fire in the hole. Ah, my finger slipped off.
The trigger?
Yep. It looks like it got it though. Probably a little weaker than the others.
Weaker, but yeah.
All right, let's get this one.
I'm getting nervous because the camera's on.
Yeah, well, we've been doing this together, tag teaming.
Let's see. I can pull the trigger for you.
Okay.
So you get it ready. Down. You good?
Do it.
The timer works out great. Keeps everything consistent.
Just a hair off on that one. That's all right. Okay, that's one back welded.
Let's show them the back there. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a little light, but you know what?
You go hit it again. Of course, it's the back of the drawer, so
Yeah.
only you and I and everybody else
Yeah.
that watches this video have seen it.
Now I got to do the bottom edge.
Yeah, we got to reach in on the bottom.
All right, we got the first drawer complete. Gonna have to do a little bit of filing on a couple of these wells, but they look good though. This is the second one. Second one always comes out better. Yep. Thank you, Chuck.
You got it, buddy.
All right.
It's just like player B in golf. Player B always hits the ball better than the first swing.
And there's another look at his. That's a nice machine, that Miller. And then there's the controller again. Just doing a little mock-up to check fitment. Yeah, not bad. I did leave a little extra clearance around these drawers. Probably could have made that a little tighter, but I was worried, you know, if the drawers sag a little bit or whatever, or if I had alignment issues, I wanted to make sure I had plenty of clearance. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm fine with it. So now I've got to draw up some metal panels to close these sides in. We need to close in this area here, and of course below the side drawer here, and get that closed in, and the back as well. I'll probably just have Send Cut Send do it. It's just so easy to do it that way. They're not the cheapest. I mean, I could probably get a local sheet metal company to shear up some pieces, but yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's just easier to go with Send Cut Send. I do need to. I've got the guides or the door or the drawer tracks ordered, and I just got a notice that they're going to be delayed a couple days. So I have an idea how I'm going to get these guides fastened in there, but I want to wait till they get here to make sure everything's going to fit up. So that's probably the next most challenging thing to do. So I'm just using some 4mm button head machine screws, and I'm just using my same gauge that I used to lay out the drill holes to make sure I've got these nice and straight. Alright, 3 more to go. Alright, I got all the slide hardware on, and I've got the drawers in here just sitting on some spacers mocked up in pretty good alignment to where I want everything to be. And I'm making this up as I go, so now I've got to figure out how I'm going to attach these slides to the base. I've got a bunch of this 1-inch angle iron, so I think what I'm going to do is try to use this stuff. And of course I got to cut it to length to fit underneath here. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to put slots. I'm going to figure out the spacing and mill some slots in here. Probably vertical, so that I've got some adjustment for up and down. Doing a mock-up to check fit and alignment. Okay, for the drawer slides, we're almost there. I'm going to have to lengthen a couple of these slots a little bit, like this one here, and probably this one up here. I'm going to do all that off camera. Well, I've been doing it off camera anyways. And then this one doesn't look too bad. Well, I got it all tacked in, and we still seem to be in alignment. So now I got to pull these drawers out and then beef up any of these tacks that need it, and then we'll do a test fit. Well, it's starting to look like a Frankenstein project. But I got all these mounting angles beefed up the tacks where needed, got it cleaned up. So now I've got to put all the rails in, slides, make sure we didn't lose alignment and everything's still working. Stand by. Moment of truth. All right, well, I don't think I explained why this door is on the side, or drawer is on the side. Okay, the reason for that, so this is the front. The jack screw for the knee, it actually extends down about, 5 inches below the base of the machine. So that's why this drawer is sideways, and that's how it came when I got it. You can see the mark there where, where the drawer hits the jack screw when it's down. So I may do like a U-cut out of here with a brace plate. But I can do that after everything else is done. There's the front panel. So just getting this front panel lined up so I can tack on the attachment tabs. Another little send cut send project. Probably hard to see, but I got these tabs in place. Everything's lined up, so now I just got to tack weld them. I got the tabs tacked on, all 4 of them, and without too much drama, and we still appear to be in alignment, so now I'm going to take it off and finish weld it. Not the easiest to get in there to beef up these tack welds. Yeah, I can't really see much from this side, but